Okay, one more.
I thought like it'd be like movies, you know, like in high school movies, like you'd be on the football team, you have all the honeys on you. It wasn't like that for me. Prom, homecoming, fall formals and all that, but I never got to do any of that because of my grades. I always put fun before school, and I wasn't supposed to do that. Now I'm paying for it, you know. I wish I would have graduated with like most of my boys, you know, but I couldn't.
Let's take pictures across in front of the camera.
I'm going home.
My name is Duke Helfand, and I'm an education reporter here at the LA Times. We, as an education team, had been looking to do a project on high schools. We chose to focus on Birmingham High School because its demographics were very typical or average for LA Unified as a whole. Birmingham is a large school. It has about 4,000 students. It's in the middle of the San Fernando Valley. It's in Van Nuys. So in some ways, you could look at Birmingham and say, if there's a dropout crisis happening there, then very likely it's happening elsewhere. We have set out to find students who have left Birmingham High School. Once we find them, we need to find out why they left, what were the factors that played into that, and what they're doing with their lives now. The Outsiders are a group of 15 students, 15 guys, who grew up together in the neighborhoods around Birmingham.
Oh, the Outsiders, this is a group of friends that have known each other since middle school. I don't consider them none of my friends, to be honest. I consider them all my family, you know. It's like, I have so much love for all them boys, you know.
In the end, 10 of them didn't make it. 5 of them did. And one of them who didn't make it was Isaac Castillo.
Everything started coming down on me in my 12th grade year, you know, because like 9th and 10th grade, 9th grade I did good all the way through, but 10th and 11th I slacked off. And I made it to 12th thinking, oh, I'm good, you know. I can still mess up a little. And then when 12th grade came, I found out that I was short all credits, a lot of credits from other years back, from my 10th and 11th grade.
For a lot of students, there's an issue of just simply being unprepared socially and academically for school. You know, they arrive with skills that are deficient. And the problem is that students can fail their way all the way up through elementary and middle school. But when they get to high school, that's when the system changes for them. In other words, you have to pass all your classes.
We're going to go over all the requirements to get the high school diploma. I'm going to talk about the credits you have, the classes you have taken, the classes you haven't, and if you're missing anything on the grad check, then we'll make a plan and figure out what you're going to do.
My name is Rosalind Rebal. I'm a high school counselor here at Birmingham High School. The counselor's role is we're the gatekeeper of the students' grades and the number of credits, the tests they need, for example, the KC to get their high school diploma. 20 credits minimum of math. You pass geometry, awesome, A and B, well that's 10. You have 5 for Algebra 1, but we're missing Algebra B, so there's a circle, and you and I will plan when you will take that.
What we find is that there are a number of factors that play into why students leave high school. Algebra is a huge one. It's a huge stumbling block for students. They come into high school often with a 4th or a 5th grade level understanding of math. They can't multiply. They don't know their times tables. They can't divide. They can't do fractions.
Fraction and integer.
So for many students, algebra is the beginning of the end.
What you need to do, let's see.
Dolly Alfaro failed Algebra 1, 1A or 1B 6 times while she was at Birmingham. But what impressed me about Dolly was the fact that she wasn't willing to give up.
Math has always been a problem for me, so I passed like most of the classes, but algebra failed it. The thing with algebra, I get the beginning of it. Once they go into like the 9th chapter, it's a blur for me. You could explain it to me like 10, 20, 30 times, I won't get it. I will not get it. I got called into the counseling office with my counselor, and she said, you're not going to graduate, it's not going to happen, I'm sorry, there's alternatives, and I was just like, I wasn't surprised myself.
Once a student leaves a school like Birmingham, there are clearly options out there available to them if they take advantage of them. There are continuation schools, which are small schools of maybe 100 students where they can get a lot of individual attention. There are independent study programs. There are vocational programs that are off campus. There are community colleges. So there are options out there, but often there's no one to direct students to those options. There's no one to hold a student's hand. There's no one to give them advice or give them counsel once they're out of the school.
The alternative program that I go to, West Valley, I think it's like really awesome, and it's just easier. You work at your own pace. You know, like let's say 1 month you have to study one thing, and if you don't get it, that's too bad for you because we're moving on. That's how high school is.
Do I still have to go to the math and then change it into a fraction?
It's better to be there because the teachers are there and they help you hands-on.
I think the prevailing concept of high school dropouts is one of young people hanging out on street corners. And while I think that is the case in some instances, what we found is that a lot of students leave Birmingham High School and go elsewhere to try to finish their education. They need another type of setting.
You okay?
Alright, so tomorrow you're going to school tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
One of our reporters found a student named Blanca Garibay. And Blanca has a little son, and when she became pregnant, she left Birmingham and went to a school for expectant teen mothers. She's trying to finish her algebra courses, and she's trying to raise her son, and she's working part-time, and it's a struggle.
When I got pregnant, I was in sophomore year. I finished sophomore year. I got pregnant in April. I have to be at work at 7:30. 7:30? I knew my rights, and I knew that I could go back to Birmingham, but I just didn't want to because I didn't want kids looking at me pregnant.
There's an entire system of alternative schools that has sprung up to serve this population. The education there, though, is very uneven. There's not a lot of coordination between them. They're underfunded. Their teachers often lack specialized training. And the onus of responsibility falls right on the shoulders of the students.
It's not easy to finish high school, especially with independent study, all the units that you have to turn in. It's really hard, but I'm doing my best. Working and going to school is hard, and especially having a baby, it's hard. It says that's the answer. I've heard of many moms out there dropping out because they have the kids and not going back to high school. But if I'm doing it, anybody could do it. I'm living with my mom and I'm doing it. I'm okay.
I have a great deal of respect for the students who are trying to finish, students who have children of their own. These are teenage parents who are sitting there with an algebra book in one hand and a baby on the other, trying to finish that algebra class.
What I really want to do is own my own restaurant. I really need to get that diploma because I can't get to Le Cordon Bleu or to any college without the high school diploma. My whole family, I could honestly say, oh, she's going to end up working in like, oh wow, factory, but it's okay because you know English, and that's not really it. I don't want to do just that. I want to be like, she went to college, and to be like, oh wow, Dolly, never would have thought.
The hardest part of my job is the day of graduation. When I've had a relationship with the students, whether it started in 9th or 10th, and they've worked as hard as they can to get that diploma. And in the end, it may have been one class, just one, that I have to say to them, I'm sorry, you failed. I can't let you go on the field. It's just a heartbreaker for me.
What hit me the most that day, I'm gonna say the truth, was when they were going in alphabetical order, and I was supposed to be right after the guy they called. And once they hopped my name, went to the next person, that hit me hard. Knowing you could have been in those seats with your friends, throwing up your caps, like it hurts, It was like it hurt me, but really it was like tears of joy and happiness for the ones who did make it.
I hope that one of the issues that this series focuses attention on is the fact that large high schools in this country don't work. And I think there's broad recognition of that problem already. But I hope what we show, rather than just tell, is how high schools as they're set up simply are not suited for students to to make it through in 4 years, especially students who come so ill prepared once they walk through the gates.
You know, I'm not the type of dropout. I'm just not gonna do nothing with my life. No, it's not like that. I'm gonna try to do something with my life, even though I didn't accomplish what I was supposed to accomplish in high school. I'm still trying to do what I can, you know. I'm not just gonna give up.
The LA Times has begun running the series, and you can read it online at latimes.com, or you can go to our website, californiaconnected.org.